on the Bobcat here. When I got it, the guy told me that these idler wheels, or these mid wheels, whatever you want to call them, they rub into the metal here. So this has actually been replaced, this whole cutout. And I need to do it here also because it's actually wearing through. So I'm gonna have to do that tonight before this gets used anymore. I'm gonna cut it out here and all the way over, weld a new piece in. I'm not quite sure exactly why it does that, but it's doing it on a few of them. I think it's doing it on the other side. No, it's actually been done here before too, on this side. That one's really crappy, whoever did that, but this one's wearing in here. All right, so for here, I'm gonna release the tracks, and then I'm gonna cut a square next to that shiny mid wheel up very front. I'm gonna cut a square out there, and I'm gonna pull that mid wheel out, and I'm gonna weld in a piece of steel to take up the spot of the original piece that's for some reason has worn out. All right, so I cut this piece of metal out here out of some 6-inch angle iron that I had laying around. So I fit it up in there. I grinded the sides down so I could weld it. I'm going to use my stick welder, arc welder, to weld it because that's all I have. And I'm not a welder by any means, but I do what I can with what I've got. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, just finishing up on getting this little repair done. Hopefully everything's going to hold and work out like it should. Like before, this is the original piece that I cut out. And then I put that new piece in. Everything's spinning like it should, and this isn't moving like it was before, because that's what it was. This was spinning, and it was just cutting a groove into the metal. So I put a washer here behind it so it's pressing against it. So hopefully it doesn't have any more issues. Working on the Bobcat tonight. I just ordered tracks for it today. I've been hearing this howling noise out of the front end of this left side. I had this bolt here. It was just sitting in there like that. It wasn't even straight. And then this one is still actually good, but it's eating into this metal. You can actually see where it's coming through right there, the little round piece right there. And this is why it's cutting into the metal. So I gotta cut a piece of metal and weld it into that circle area. And I might do the same thing to this side. But yeah, I gotta fix that before it starts coming all the way through. Alright, so today I'm gonna fix this Bobcat. The threads were shot while they were a little screwed up on this roller wheel. So I had to clean those up a little bit. Bought a tap and I was gonna have a machine shop do it, but they said they were booked, so they told me just to go buy the stuff and do it, so I did. And then those was only like 25 or 30 bucks. So today I'm gonna cut a piece of metal out for back here. I'm gonna cut it round, so I'm gonna use the form of this. And I'm gonna put a piece of metal up here, I'm gonna draw it out, cut that round out, and then weld it in back here, and then hopefully get this back to going because I need it. Alright, so here's what I have going on. This is basically the frame underneath the Bobcat there. So this is what it looks like underneath on the actual place where these wheels roll. So this wheel here was rubbing into this piece of metal. So what I did is I cut out of another piece of steel that to fit in here. Now I could have taken my time to take these off and get the snap ring off, but this actually, this grinding wheel was pretty much the same, so I just used it, marked it out, made this piece of steel. I gotta shave it down a little bit more on this side, but I'm gonna put that in there and I'm gonna weld it in the spot of this. So I'm gonna get underneath the tractor, I'm gonna cut this out a little bit so this will fit, and then I'm going to weld that in place, and that's what will be the fix. Alright, I got the Bobcat set up on these Harbor Freight 12-ton jacks. Hopefully they hold like they should. So what I've got going on under here is this piece of metal. Definitely need to cut it more on the sides. It's going to go right into here, and I'm going to weld it into this place. And that will take up for this lost metal. So I gotta grind this down a little smoother so it's a nice flush weld. I'm gonna grind here also. And then I'm gonna put the wheel back in. See, it was the whole wheel and assembly was going out, so even the top part was rubbing. So hopefully this will fix everything for now. Definitely need to cut that out quite a bit more. Okay, so I got pretty much everything done. All the metal's welded where it should be. The only issue is this piece here. Even though I did everything I should or could, it was still spinning. So I put a magnet to it and it's steel, so you know what, I'm not recommending it, but I welded it here just so it won't spin and ruin this again. So you know, the only problem with that is if you're out in the field and you need to replace one of these, you better have a grinder to get that off. But I have a battery operated grinder and this is my machine, so I don't really care. And I don't know what else to do, so it's not going to wear out again, so I'm not worried about that. And it still spins like it should. Just hard. They're all hard. But I'm going to weld the other ones that are spinning too, just so I don't have to do this repair hopefully again.